Well, I thought I would take you with me to the park as opposed to writing you a letter. I thought I would talk you a letter. I just purchased a wireless microphone system, which is hiding right here, and lets me go up to 75 meters away from the receiver. Let's see if it works. I'm in Planten and Bloemen, which is a gorgeous park that took up the space that was used for the killing fields around the walls that were never really breached except by Napoleon when he tricked them into letting him in, saying he would never take over the city if they let him in. And they did, and he lied. So yeah, it seems to work pretty well. You asked how I was and where I was. I'm in Hamburg at the moment. I've been here about a month. But I came from the east. I don't know where to pick up the story. But I left Hamburg, well, I left Hawaii, I went to Europe, and you got that part. But I left Hamburg in July, August, and I went to India for a couple months, to Ranchi, to eastern India, where I visited a guy I've been talking to for 20 years online. Shaum is his name, and his family owns a brick kiln factory with a huge smokestack in the middle of the rice fields over a deposit of clay, which is perfect for making bricks. And it is truly an amazing operation. I'll send a picture maybe. You have to go to my Instagram. You could see probably a chronicle of this whole adventure. So I went there for 2 months and had never been to Nepal. And I decided to go for 2 weeks and found an Airbnb just north of Kathmandu in Budhanilkantha, right where the road ends and the national park begins. And instead of staying for 2 weeks, I stayed for 5 months and wandered all around there. Was befriended a monastery up the mountain from me, where I spoke a lot with the monks, and they went, this guy's an interesting guy, our Rinpoche should meet him. So when the Rinpoche came back from one of his 3 monasteries, one in India, one in Taiwan, and then his in Kathmandu, he asked about me and had me to lunch, and we ended up having a whole lot of conversations. So now he's invited me to go back to India with him from Kathmandu to his monastery there, where he wants me to meet his lamas, the guys that are his teachers, which could be a lot of fun. He said, it's okay giving blessings and doing chants and repeating the mantras and the prayers all the time, but it's nice having a conversation. And so I'm looking forward to going back there, and I've been getting equipment here and there. I've always wanted to live stream. I'm live streaming a lot on the app called Periscope, and my name is @PhillipsEmail, quite romantic. And I have hundreds of videos there from when I began doing this. But it's amazing how the technology has risen to the occasion, or lowered itself to the occasion in any case. So yeah, I spent time with them. I ended up with, my knees are really awful. Been getting progressively worse, and in the course of my hiking around, I got an arthritic infection in my left knee, which pretty much almost killed me and left me in the hospital and doing IV antibiotics for about 10 days. And so yeah, let's see, before that I had been in Siberia in September. Is that right? No, I went to Siberia. Yeah, I went to Siberia first, then to India, and then to Nepal. And then Yeah, that was an interesting experience. I live streamed on the ambulance going to the hospital in Nepal. That was exciting. And then headed back here to Hamburg via first to Istanbul, where there's a guy that has been following me named Tanner, a guy in his early 50s, I guess, that turns out to be a famous producer director. It makes soap operas, or makes series, not soap operas, but makes a series, a whole lot of series that are distributed in Turkey and also the Middle East in general. And he had me visit him for some time, which was really wonderful. And then later, I went from there to Romania, and then from Romania to Hamburg, basically, and met more people that were following me in my Periscope stuff. I have over 1,000 people that follow, which is kind of fun, and a lot of playing guitar and talking about life and love. And then technology still is developing where now they can talk to you as opposed to just text. You can invite people to do voice as well, so it can be quite a dialogue. So I'm invited to go back to the Rinpoches and do video with him, and I'm finishing my little book that he thinks is cool and is writing the introduction to, which could be just a whole lot of fun. It's amazing who you meet along the way. What else? Oh yeah, then I went with Stephanie. I came back to Stephanie. I was saying, she invited me to go on a vacation with her for a couple months, take the train around Europe, which is pretty nice. I said, well, yeah, I'd do that, but I'd like to not just have vacations with you, but to make it a little more interesting and have a relationship that is a little more invested and a little richer. And she understood. She's 46 now. Oh no. And she's realizing that she can't not do things all her life, that she needs to begin her life, basically. So we went on the trip, heading south. We were going to go to Italy and go down to the South Italy and over onto the islands. And I made it to Austria, and she had me hiking around. I've been having a regular heartbeat stuff and was taking medication for high blood pressure and for that. And then in the course of a hike, I ended up getting much worse, telling her, I think I need to go to the hospital, happily having gotten travel insurance several days earlier. So I ended up going to a little hospital in Bolzano, I guess it was. And then they took me by ambulance to a cardiac center where they did a couple shunts, stents, what am I saying, on my ventricle. And it was quick and easy, of course, but they told me, then I really had a regular heartbeat. I was in the hospital instead of for 2 days, for 11 days because of my arrhythmia. And it's always just kind of disconcerting when you have these shock paddles right by your bed all the time. You have it sitting where your lunch should be. But I made a lot of friends in the hospital there. And we can walk to some other spot. Why don't we walk to some other spot while I'm doing this? It's really pretty here. They have an incredible team doing all the flowers and the gardening here. Let me find a spot where I don't disturb people. So yeah, I've been real sick. But I got out of the hospital and they have like 20 medications I take every day. and it's kind of working and kind of not working. And in the meantime, of course, my knee is completely shot, so I have to get a new knee as soon as possible, as I can really literally barely walk. Where can I sit where I'm not invading other people's space? It's lunchtime and everybody's sitting in their little spots. Let's go this way. Oh yeah, they also told me that the reason I have arrhythmia is I have a leaky valve in my ventricle. And then I also have, I guess I can sit right here. I also have, they said, very tiny arteries to my heart and to my brain too, actually, which is not a good thing because the least bit of clogging can have a major effect, and that's what happened with my ventricle arteries. So it seems to be a genetic thing that I will live or die with. I am 70, we are 70 now, and that kind of happens. So we'll see how it goes. Isn't that pretty? I'm going to be planting something soon there. Isn't that lovely? There's a spot I like to sit that sometimes is occupied and sometimes isn't. Let's see if it's occupied now. Okay, that one is, but there's another one. Yeah, it's right here. Oh yeah, it's free. So, here we are again. Yeah. So, where was I? Yeah, I'm going back to Nepal. I got to go, I think, first to Hawaii, where I have my real insurance, to get fixed and see what has to be done with the arteries in the brain, because I have these little flashes where I get really dizzy and feel like I'm going to pass out, etc. So, well, that's my life. I'm glad you're playing tennis. I can't play anything, though I am told once my knees are fixed, and if I have any kind of heart whatsoever, the heart's strong. I have no damage from the heart attack. They said no lasting damage, but it's the irregular heartbeat and the high blood pressure resulting that are causing the problems. And just starting to work out again, which feels good. Upper body stuff, push-ups, curls, pullovers, but just with my own stuff. So yeah, you have quite a family amassed that you're herding and tending to. Pretty cool. Leslie's in Instagram, so I can see what she's up to. She looks awfully happy. She makes awfully beautiful babies. Very, very cool. And you make beautiful grandchildren too, needless to say. So yeah, some incredible war games out. It's just I need to take the time to play them. Yeah, different from our 7th grade study hall, tapping on our graph paper. So, okay, I'll wind this up. I may add something to it. But love you both and all, and look forward to seeing you sometime. I'm planning another trip on the Canal de Midi in May. Want to come? 2 weeks? 1 week? See you soon.